Hello everyone, this is White Wolf. How's everybody doing? I wanted to talk about reshaping energy, out with the old and in with the new, and knowing that fertility will always bring about such change in the atmosphere, such change in energy, just change in the way that you can gain such a heightened awareness and understanding your true self and understanding your true divinity, and understanding that everything always changes. Everything changes for a reason. Everything migrates back into the unity within itself. And it always reshapes and recapsulates energy. And it's just reshaping your energy into fitting within your frequency and knowing that everything that is old, that is stale, that needs to go will always migrate and fall away and fall by the wayside. And it will always migrate back into that unification of consciousness because that is fertility. Within nature, I heard about something in Antarctica, that Antarctica used to be a rainforest. So now it's not a rainforest anymore because the tectonic plates had to change, had to shift, and they had to change the atmosphere and change the weather because it just was something that had to happen. And Mother Nature always changes the way that we feel and the way that we interact and the way that we're in the moment and immersing ourselves within the moment and truthfully just becoming the moment itself. When you are able to know moment to moment and understanding how present you can be with that moment, and you're stretching every moment out as a divine reconstruction and a divine orchestration of reshaping energy and trying to fit that energy within a vibration, within a reality that allows you to fully self-realize what you are and what you are about and what you want to embark on within your journey, and knowing who you are and knowing that you're not going to waver from it and knowing that you're going to follow through and that you're going to understand who you are and realizing it, immersing yourself within it and feeling it and knowing that you are that definition of fertility and encapsulating energy and allowing it to flow and not forcing the energy, but to allow the energy to not be restricted, to not be constricted, to not be flat, but to be completely open and out in the open. And when you allow it to fully embrace yourself and know that you align your vibration with who you are. And whenever you're reshaping your energy, what you're doing is that you're trying to set an example and you're showing your dedication by understanding that you can change your life in the matter of a thought, in the matter of an emotion, in the matter of nanoseconds when you're able to reshape your energy. And it's almost as if you can place everything in the past and know that it is not the present, and know that the present is not the future, but the present is everything actualized, and you allow the intensity of that present moment to not dictate what is the future and what was the past. So you basically have a clean slate when you're able to reshape your energy, when you're able to align that vibration with understanding that you don't have to know everything, but you know that you're here for a brief moment. But how can you make that brief moment empowered and experiment with it and play with it and use it as a tool of manifestation? This is why I'm going to use this analogy tonight, is understanding that when you're the pyramid, there is no mountain higher enough. There's no mountain that you can't climb. There's nothing that you can go past. You're aligning to your vibration, and you know that there's no ceiling or no plateau that you're going to reach within your vibration. Because a lot of masters and a lot of teachers and a lot of people try to say that we all have a ceiling, that we should stop at this point, that we should stop doing this, or wait 30 years to be enlightened so that we can fully realize ourselves. And I don't believe that's the case. I believe we always get better, and that we get more sensitive, and that we get more vulnerable, that we intensify the way that we manifest and the way that we migrate back into our unification of consciousness, and understanding that we are like trees that are chopped down. We are like a building that was torn down, and then they built a new building so that we can have a brand new start, a fresh, clean slate, renewal of our energy, and understanding that when we have that clean slate, we allow ourselves to always embrace the new, no matter what it is. It's always out with the old and in with the new, and then the expansion of seasons. So fall, winter, and summer, those are always new times. You're always excited for the holidays. You're always excited for summertime. And you're always really excited for spring because it comes back around in a beautiful circle, and you know that you're going to experience it again, but it's not the same experience that you just had. But it's allowing yourself to be moment to moment. And when you allow yourself to be moment to moment, it's more than being present. It's more than just being in the present moment. And you understand that it's acceleration, it's elevating your energy, and it's reshaping the definition of your energy. When you reshape the definition of your energy, you're allowing yourself to embark on more heightened states of awareness, but it's allowing you to know that there's not so much of a heightened awareness that's going to throw you off or that it's going to scare you. And it's just letting go of that fear, letting go of those thoughts, letting go of those emotions that don't resonate with you, letting go of anything that does not resonate within your vibration. And when you understand that not everything is going to resonate within your vibration, not everything is going to fit within it, you have to know what fits and what doesn't fit. And when you allow yourself to truthfully understand that you don't need to understand, that you don't need to know, but you can truthfully know that you can truly believe in your heart and your resonance and the way that you empower yourself and the way that you go about your life and the way that you want to know oneself. So everything has fallen off in a sense. So when everything has fallen off and fallen away, this means that you're embarking on a brand new reality, a brand new state of being. And when you understand that everything, like dead branches, like dead trees, it can always grow back, and you have to see yourself as those trees that's being grown back. You have to see that everything that you think was taken from you, you will always get reciprocated back, because love is a circle, as I always say. Everything that we think that we lose in life, or that we think we failed at, or we felt like we made a mistake, are just illusions that we keep believing in. We always believe in these illusions that we can't reshape our energy, or that we're stuck at a certain point, but we're never really stuck, and we're never really waiting, and we're never assuming a position, and we're not really assuming anything. So don't assume anything, because when we get lost in our assumptions, we're lost in disillusionment, and when we get lost in assumption, we allow ourselves to assume an identity that does not resonate with who we are. So when we get rid of our assumptions and get rid of who we really are and get rid of what we thought we were, and then we accept who we truthfully are in the highest love and the highest light of our destiny, we allow ourselves to really immerse ourselves within that divinity, within trying to just understand it's just about getting out of your head and getting into the game, and immersing yourself as if you are in that video game. And realizing that if you immerse yourself while you're in that video game state of consciousness, it will allow you to see that everything can change within a moment. And it can allow you to really understand that everything is not cryptic if you really see past the illusion behind it. Not everything is cryptic. Everything is not black and white, but there's always a gray area. And God's Source Energy in the Great I Am always shows us ways that we're able to allow ourselves to intellectualize this in a language to where we're generating different colonizations of energy within ourselves. We're generating different gateways and different portals, and allowing ourselves to be a multiverse in and of ourselves. So if stuff on Earth has to always change, like there's always needs of floods, there's always need of rain, there's always need of fire. So there's always a need of Mother Nature changing things, shaking things up, and allowing everything to come back into balance, and what needs to fall away, and what needs to stay, and what needs to use a sense of addition, adding more to itself, gaining more value, gaining more worthiness. And when you understand this, there can be something in your life that you've had for so long, and then you're finally ready to let go of it. You're finally ready to be done with it. You're done being in that stale reality. You're done with the people. You're done with that relationship. And suddenly you shift out of that and you let go of that and you step away from that. And it's almost as if there is a domino effect. But it's not in a domino effect in a negative sense. It's just the dominoes have fallen. And then now you have to pick up the pieces and where the chips lay. So every time in life, we're always having this domino effect. And we have to see where the chips are going to land, in a sense. So we always have to pick up the pieces. But the pieces and putting the pieces together in that puzzle is always the fun part. Sometimes in life it doesn't seem like it's fun. It doesn't seem like putting a puzzle together is very fun. It can seem very boring. But it's all how you make it. How fun are you going to make it? How exciting are you going to make it? How are you going to reshape the energy, in a sense? And I truthfully believe it's based on how we just are. How are you going to reshape the energy right now? How are you going to feel better right now? How are you going to change the perspective that was lacking? How are you going to get rid of the lack and release the lack and know that the lack has nothing to do with you? And knowing that we don't have a ceiling, that we can continuously keep going higher, and that we can continuously keep being that electromagnetic kinetic source energy that taps into every type of frequency, that taps into every type of energy, that taps into every type of circuitry within the wiring, within the family tree of consciousness, and understanding that we're here to live with this soul song. So a soul song is something that really resonates within your heart, is something that you sing, but it's also something that you just live by. So a soul song is not a song itself. It's something that you're gleefully and cheerfully always going to go by this resonance. Because it means that you have anointed the way that you feel about your reality. You have put in place what you want into your reality. Now, at any given time, whatever you put in place can shift and migrate into something else. And it's not always based about how it looks. It's not always based on how it goes. Because we get too meddled within the details of how it's going to go, how it's going to look, what is going to be there, instead of enjoying how it unfolds and allowing it to unfold and allowing it to migrate back into itself. Sometimes we focus too heavily on how we want to be and where we want to be instead of being happy where we're at, so that when we get to that place at the end of the Golden Arches, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So understanding that that's the tip of the iceberg, the Golden Arches that are waiting for you. So what's past the Golden Arches? What's past 10 years? What's past 20 years? And it doesn't matter what age you are, and it doesn't matter how tall you are, shorter you are. It doesn't matter about any situation within your life at this given moment. What is past the Golden Arches that's ahead of you? What's past that? Does that mean you have corporations? Does that mean you have businesses? Does that mean that you are able to travel within different dimensions with your own consciousness? So when we think of it like that, we make it more fun and we make it more imaginative, and we're actually using that inner child to put in place what we really want, and to be so descriptive and to layer it with many dimensional ley lines in a way that we can embark on a new state of being and make everything so new and so miraculous and to make everything its own special kind of beautiful. You have to make everything beautiful within your reality. And you have to know that within simplicity, beauty can happen. And within simplicity, a lot of amazing, miraculous things can happen. If you just make it simple, if you just condense it. It doesn't have to be methodical. It doesn't have to be anything like that. But it just has to be what you want, and it has to be what you desire. It doesn't have to be anything special. It could be just an ice cream cone. What is the sensation? What is the emotion? What is the empowerment about getting that ice cream cone? Who are you with? And go upon that. Because at the end of the day, if you go with your heart, if you go with your resonance, and you know that you don't have to possess a thing, that it doesn't have to be material, that everything comes from the metaphysics of reality, and it comes from the quantum. It does not come from how you have a bunch of things, but it comes from gratitude, it comes from empowerment, it comes from self-realization, because you're having the self-realization that I can reshape the energy that is here, that is present, that is alive now, and I can continuously make it manifest itself continuously, because existence is continuous. That's why the pyramid is continuous. The pyramid never stops. And then you get even deeper and you understand Metatron's cube has all of the sacred geometry that is here, that is present. So love is a circle. Don't put yourself in a box. Know that the pyramid is allowing you to understand that you don't have a peak. You may have peaks and valleys, but those are not the end result at the end of the day. So, in a sense that you can fine-tune everything as if you're conducting an orchestra. You have this guy over here, you have this gal over here, and you're just the conductor of energy. So you just have to put in place everything and start going with this harmonious, Holy Spirited flow. And when you do that, you don't have to feel as if there has to be a struggle, that there has to be physical action, that there doesn't have to be anything going on. But it's just the stillness, it's just the being, it's just the silence that is there and that is present. And that true magic happens when you are able to basically create everything from that space of meditation. You can literally create everything and reshape everything and fine-tune everything in a meditative state. We always think that it's trying really hard. We always think that it's doing all these things or having to respond to this person or this or that. And it has nothing to do with that, but it has everything to do with staying in your own lane, staying true to yourself, and following your journey. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters. It's not about worrying about what everybody else is doing, but it's about worrying about what the divine wants to be channeled from you. See God how God wants to see you. And if you see God within everything, then you know that you will manifest and migrate into everything. That everything will encapsulate itself. And everything will not only have any choice, but to accept that that is the route to take. It's true acceptance, because if you're negative about it, you're always going to get these negative projections, these negative outcomes, these negative circumstances. But if you change it and you develop this flavor of positivity, and you change the flavor of your reality, you will get different outcomes. You'll have different causes and different effects. You'll have different circumstances. And it will make you feel better because you're beating to the tune of your soul song. You're beating to the tune of your own drum. You're going with your resonance, in a sense. And it's just going with your heart, and it's not making it anything complex. Because it doesn't have to be complex at the end of the day. It just has to be what makes you happy, what makes you in love with your life. What's in your life that is prohibiting you from not being happy? It could even be yourself. So have that look in the mirror and have that talk in the mirror and start accepting the person that's looking back at you at the mirror, because you never really see a reflection of yourself. But God is looking back at you in the mirror, and it wants you to accept itself. It wants you to accept you for what you are, not this human being that you've assumed yourself to be. We always make assumptions about that we're here, but we're omnipresent. We don't assume a position. And if we just disassociate from how much that we're assuming, then we can truthfully realize that none of that really matters. None of that really matters. None of that truthfully matters. And do you think the archangels operate at that rate of speed? The angels don't think about being broke. The angels don't think about being sad. None of these higher beings in any of these realms think about or even go about life in a way that's lacking of something, in a way that's not abundant. So you have to single-handedly go to a place where you just channel everything within your life. You have to channel it all out. You have to disassociate with noise. You can't think of anything physical for a second. And you have to tap into that 0 point creation to where there is nothing left, to where there is nothing there, to where there is nothing that's going to bother you, that is going to bug you, that's going to ignore you, or feel like you have to watch TV. There is nothing. Just think that there is just black space. That's where the heart of creation, that's what happens before we all incarnate here. This is before creation. So you have to see yourself within that 0 point creation. And you have to see that all of these things that we worry about, that we stress about, that are happening here, none of that matters within the 0 point creation. None of that matters. Because there's nothing that has been created. There's no thought to be had. There's no emotion. There's no death. There's no suffering. There's no sorrow. There's no any of that in that space of consciousness. There's none of that. So you realize that from that space of 0 point creation, that you can create everything within your reality at that given moment. And then the appearance of light can make itself known. And then when there's the appearance of light, that's when everything reshapes itself, comes into form, and comes into generating a reality in a sense. And it could be in any other realm. It could be in the angelic realms. It could be in a realm where there's just stick people. Because there's many different realms that are like that. But so you understand that it can be anything that you want it to be. And we feel as if we are here or there, but we're not really anywhere. But we're everywhere. That's why I said we're not really anywhere. So it's just so in tune with everything that you experience. And it feels as if you're tapping into that absolute reality. The absolute has recognized who you are. And it recognizes you, and it's aware of that, and it's reciprocated back to yourself. So every time that you tap into 0 point creation, in a sense, you can understand that there is nothing. So when there is nothing that can prohibit you, that can stop you, that can annoy you or trigger you or make you angry or anything, that means that what if you were in a 0 point creation type of awareness at any given time? Now, obviously, you would have to balance this out and you would have to be grounded with this higher density. But then it would give you a sense like, I understand that I project everything that's in my awareness. I am the reason for everything appearing. I'm a reason for creation itself. I am the reason for the distortions and the illusions. So even though I create more illusions, so I am the master of optical illusions, in a sense. So you realize that you're generating optical illusions all the time. So you're like Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate in Black Adam, where you're able to generate different illusions. You're able to generate life diagonal, upside down, and you're able to go through this portal. You're able to make things appear within awareness very miraculously and very methodically. You're able to generate an illusion to get someone to understand something, because that's called reflection. Because Dr. Fate would, in Black Adam, would use reflection. Because he was reflecting their fate. He was showing them what is going to happen to them, in a sense. So in a sense, you have to become the master of illusion. So becoming the master of illusion means that you have to generate all illusions that align with God, that are vibrating at the frequency of God, and that are perfected and realized and reciprocated and recognized, and has a cognizance of the I Am. So no matter how many illusions that you generate, no matter how many times that you go about this, no matter how many times you do this or go about it or try to figure it out, just take a minute for yourself to get grounded and centered to the point where there is nothing there. So therefore, I can create everything inside of this awareness. So if there's nothing left of me, there's nothing left of my shadow aspects, there's nothing left of my human self, there's nothing left there. I've already put my heart on a silver platter for the divine to heal me. So if there is nothing left, that means I can create my new reality, my new personality, my new state of being, my frame of mind and body and spirit and soul. So you can literally do that to the point where it can allow you to be the mind, to be the body, to be the soul, and align with that higher self. And it allows you to see more within everything. It allows you to be the moment itself, to be the essence of the moment, and to be the perfected moment-to-moment present moment. So, we're going to do like a quick meditation here. And with this meditation, I'm going to take you to 0 point creation. And I'm going to give you kind of a glimpse of what is before creation, what is after creation, and how we're going to, in a sense, allow ourselves to relax into that, but also just create a new reality, to create a new state of being, to reshape the energy, to re-encapsulate it, and to allow it and not restrict it, in a sense. So that's what we're going to do. So, everybody take a deep breath. Exhale. And so, Allow yourself, in a sense, to tap into zero-point creation and allow it to be just that black, empty space where there's no objects, there's no people, there's no sky. It is just you and God, and it's just you and your consciousness, and it's just you in the heart of creation itself. So it's just you and creation. It's just you and God. It's just you and your higher self. You don't necessarily see God as a person. You don't see God as a separate entity, but you see God as inseparability. And before the light of awareness appears, before the light of source peers into awareness and generates after creation. Right now, this is before creation. This is where you can gather your thoughts, gather your will, gather everything, and place it within your perfect divine reality, to where you're able to reshape the energy, pick out the landscape, pick out the sensations, pick out the people, and pick everything out before you experience that divine reality, to where you can see yourself being that creator and being the orchestrator of energy, and knowing that it is a divine orchestration, to where you can allow yourself to breathe, to be the essence of, to be the creation itself. So, in a sense, what you're doing is that you're relaxing into yourself. You're allowing the self to generate. You're allowing God to become you, and you're allowing God to be reciprocated within everything that you do, within every action, within every thought, and within every playful moment of this innocence that you're regaining back into yourself. So you're regaining your innocence in a sense. You're regaining your playfulness in a sense. So when you regain this playfulness about yourself, about your life, about everything. So when you regain this playfulness about yourself, about your life, about everything, you're able to understand that love is a circle, and that you're tapping into that pyramid analogy and understanding that there is no mountain high enough. There's no ceiling. There's no plateau, in a sense. There are peaks and valleys, but those don't hold you back, in a sense. They're just there as guidance, as teaching, as just allowing yourself to heal and to understand and to be here. So what I want you to do from this standpoint, before the light of awareness appears, I want you to be able to put in place how you're going to feel, how you're going to go about your life, but also what is there. What is waiting for you? Those golden arches, that vacation, that business meeting that you're very excited for because you have the perfect PowerPoint, whatever it may be. Make it your own unique individuation of creation. Allow it to be your thing. Allow it to be not ownership, but just taking pride in your creation. But it's not a pride of arrogance, but it's a pride that you're proud of what you have created, and you're happy about what you created, but also you're just putting the puzzle pieces together, in a sense. You're just putting all of the puzzle pieces together. You're placing everything on the projector screen of consciousness. You're allowing everything to be generated from that vortex, from that energy. But none of that has happened just yet. But this is just before the incarnation, before the implication of energy, before the light of awareness appears and changes everything, in a sense. So, what you're doing with your energy is that you're laying out that map of deliberate creation. You're generating that map of deliberate creation. You're deliberately creating everything. You're projecting what you want. You're projecting your desires. And you're using those empowered projections to know that you're here to not just float, but you're here to rise above. So you're tapping into rebellion in a positive sense because you're finally tapping into who you are once again, who you want to become once again. And there's nothing wrong with being rebellious. It actually shows truth within yourself in that you're dedicated to who you are as a soul. You're dedicated to perfecting the energy, perfecting consciousness itself. You're becoming the perfected higher self, the effortless perfection of that higher self that wants to know itself again, wants to know its psychic abilities again, and understanding the truth of why it needs to heal again, of why it wants to take this journey again, in a sense. But that hasn't happened yet. This is still before creation. That's what's beautiful about it. You're putting in place, almost as if before you incarnated in your higher self and God was putting everything in place of your life, in a sense. Like everything that you agreed to, everything that you chose to come back once again. And in a sense, this is a clean slate. This is a redo, in a sense. This is you finding yourself again, finding who you are again, and allowing it to be something very beautiful. And you're finally understanding that you're becoming the moment itself. You're becoming the present moment. And it does not mean that it's in the future, and it does not mean that it's in the past. You have to discern that for yourself. Has it already happened? Or will it happen? Those are questions you need to ask yourself. Everybody take a deep breath. Exhale. So when that light appears into awareness, in a sense, when that light appears, that means that the dawning of civilizations, the culmination of energy, the incarnate soul that is going to encompass this vessel is going to shine forth, and it's going to be looking through the telescope of energy. So in a sense, you're going to be looking through a telescope, and you're going to see everything happen all at once. You're going to be everywhere, everything all at once, simultaneously. You're going to be that essence of God once again. And you're going to understand the positionless. You're going to understand the omnipresent nature. You're going to understand that there is no assumptions. And yes, there are illusions, but you're the master of optical illusions. So everybody take one last deep breath. Exhale. And when I snap my fingers, you'll come back to. You'll have a greater sense of clarity. You will know who you are. And you will see the light of awareness appear. And you will see through the telescope of creation. And you will experience every type of reality, every type of lifetime, everything all at once, everywhere, omnipresent, all at once, and be realized and known once again so that you can immerse yourself within the absolute reality. Didn't know where my lighter was. So, thank you guys for enjoying the meditation, and also just for tuning into the live and stuff. That's what made it beautiful, is that you showed up. You showed up for your life. You attended the meditation, and that's what makes it special. That's what makes it more amazing, and understanding that never giving up on yourself, and understanding that you're reshaping the energy and that you're tapping into that absolute reality that wants to know yourself once again. And it's just understanding that it doesn't need to be complex. It doesn't need to be anything very complex or complicated or mystical or anything like that, or cryptic. But you can find serendipity in the simplistic things of life, in the little things of life, in the minute things of life. And it can really wow you, and it can really change your view on how you feel about life, how you feel about yourself, and it can utterly change your life. And just know that believe it, know it, be it, see it, dream it will allow you to understand that self-discovery is a very beautiful thing. Self-remembrance is a beautiful thing too, because when you remember your God self once again, that God self remembers you, and it accepts you, and it loves you, and it nurtures you, and it allows you to grow with that ongoing fertility, because you are the reshaping of platonic plates within yourself. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Also, I would like to let you guys know one more thing before I leave. Love all your comments. Even love the negative comments, because people are very negative, but it's okay. I'm going to put my links at the bottom here. Also, if you'd like to make a $50 special 1-hour appointments for psychic readings, healings, activation codes, downloads, you can do that as well. You can check out my YouTube channel, White Wolf the Oracle of Loveline Wisdom, BitChute, White Wolf the Oracle 23 _ @ Instagram, White Wolf 4741, and also I have some links here. And if you would like to book a private session with me, I do have a $50 special. So that is, I'm just going to leave that there. And I hope that you guys are going to be blessed by these meditations, these live feeds, and also the free content that I have online as well. So thank you guys so much. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I need to say, but I think that's it. So thank you guys for tuning in. God bless you. I hope you have a wonderful day. And just always look beyond the surface, beyond the lens of perception, and it will allow you to be the master of optical illusions. So, oh, that's my hand on the thing. That was weird. Thank you guys.